بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين ما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So subhanallah al-azim, episode 1 or the first podcast of Beyond the Surface, and this is a theme that bi'idhnillah al-kareem I will be aiming to tackle beyond the surface in all various factors, all areas, and it will be discussing many contemporary issues, as I mentioned, in my previous videos. So today's the first episode, and it was only befitting that I have my Cody, my partner in crime, my dear brother, Irish Imy, or Muhammad Imran. My brother, how are you?
Good to be back.
Thanks for coming down to Birmingham and making an appearance for the first Beyond the Surface podcast. So, how you been? How's everything? How's life?
Alhamdulillah, good. Just cracking on as we do.
Cracking on. We always crack on, don't we?
Yeah.
So we had a interesting discussion, and we've had a good trip as well, which we'll get into. I think we spoke when I came up to Oldham about 5 months ago now, 6 months ago.
It's got to be touching that.
Well, we touch and go 6 months, and that was obviously it was because you made various visits to Egypt, didn't you? So it was about that time.
Yeah.
And we were discussing issues in the charity sector, and one thing we have to remember is that this particular pillar of our faith, Zakat or Sadaqah, is ibadah. We do it for worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
100%.
But unfortunately, the sector is tainted with greedy, individuals who are taking advantage of the believers' heart.
Exploiting it in general.
And I didn't want to say that, but you took the words out of my mouth. So moving on, 6 months after we had the podcast, we had backlash. We did, didn't we?
Yeah, but expected, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And since that time, new developments have come to light. Not that we were searching for it.
No.
It kind of landed on our lap, didn't it?
How Allah works.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deals with those who are zalimun in one way or another. And what I want to get into first and foremost is just a bit of background about you, Imy. I know we've already done it 6 months ago, so it's good to get a refresher.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So before, Imy explains the journey, he's been active in the charity sector, so he has a better view and insight as to how the sector has been operating. It's a noble sector, let's just say, the charity sector. When we're talking about the sector, it's a noble sector. We're looking to alleviate the suffering of the believers, and we seek Allah's pleasure in doing so. But that's not entirely the case in some.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah. So explain your sort of involvement in charity. Sorry, I'm going to have my sip of my cola. Yeah. So introduce yourself and to our viewers, and let's understand how me and you got together and then what we did subsequently thereafter.
Okay, so I think in 2016, it was 2016. So I come out of prison. Whilst go back a little bit. So whilst I was in prison, I was seeing a lot of, the famine in Yemen.
Yeah.
I think it was at first. And it sort of got me thinking and reflecting, on life and what I've done and what I need to be doing, sort of thing. So I made the intention, alhamdulillah, that when I get out, that I was going to start, doing humanitarian work. Yeah, so unfortunately, though, I couldn't start it straight away because I was on license and they wouldn't let me leave the country. So I was doing a little bit, around the local area in the communities, helping out, the homeless feeds and whatever I could do, while still here. Then, alhamdulillah, I got my license complete, and then I went to Greece, to the Lesbos island, to alleviate some of the suffering there. And then from there, I went to Yemen. After Yemen, I went to Pakistan, Lebanon, and then to Egypt.
Allah. So you've ventured to various countries, various issues, where various causes within the ummah that needed attention.
Yeah.
You must have worked with various charities during those trips, I assume.
Yeah. So I worked with several organisations, which is what started me just doing the work on my own, working alongside organisations rather than hand in hand as such with organisations. Because the first one I worked with, he had a madrasa as well, in Oldham. And again, he was along with many of the others, he was exploiting, with funds and things like that. So I seen that and I called him out on it, and I just parted ways with that. And then on to the next. Was that your first experience of exploitation? First experience,
And how did that make you feel, generally speaking? Like, okay,
it's crazy, isn't it? Because I'm supposed to. Some of my background is, but you know, it's what.
Let's be honest.
It's what people think, isn't it? It's what people think is, you know, people from with my past record. Is it something what you'd expect me to be doing? Not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's what people,
no. It's that perception, isn't it?
Yeah, that perception. Yeah,
A former convict criminal, should I say?
And I'm thinking, well, it's supposed to be. You know, what's going on here?
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? It's like so I was taken aback a bit. Then I thought, you know what? But in life, we come across these people, don't we?
Yeah.
You know,
and let's be honest as well. It's how they mask their deception by using religion, the cloaker scholarship, in order to continue.
So they're giving you all these hadith quotes and
Thank
this
you.
and that,
and no application.
You know, they're softening your heart, and then
there you go.
You know, and
it reminds me of the story, and the brothers will be aware when Salman al-Farsi, anhu, when he left Iran or Furs at the time, Persia, and he was seeking the truth.
Yeah.
So his family was Zoroastrians, Majusis, and in Iran he came across the Christians, and he sought comfort in it because of being the people of the scripture and whatnot. So fast forwarding a bit, he went to Asham, Greater Syria, and he sought companionship and learning from the bishops and the priests. And one particular bishop and priest that he was, learning from, he was exploiting charity. So this is something that is like they've gathered from the traits.
It's not unique, is it?
Thank you. So this has happened ever since. People have been inspired or have adopted the monotheistic religion, and a pillar of our faith is, as we know, as I mentioned, ibadah is Sadaqah and Zakat, and it's happened during that time. So the traits that these so-called Muslim speakers, leaders, community leaders, or even charities that they're involved in, just shouldn't surprise us, don't you think?
No.
And normalizing us calling out these individuals, because unfortunately, and I've been in the dawah scene for a while, the harms, brother, the harms. What if you release this to the public, or you let this out, then it will be very detrimental. But the problem is that what benefit is there? Because they're continuing what they're doing anyway.
It's like there was a quote what I read years ago. I think it was something with someone with knowledge on something. I know it's like knowledge is
paraphrasing.
So someone with knowledge and that doesn't use it in the wider is like a buck-laden donkey.
It's Quranic verse.
Is it Quranic verse? Yeah. So it's a similar principle.
Yeah.
So we know something, but we don't say things or whatever.
They're donkeys carrying the books.
So
charities and subsequently the Palestine-Gaza conflict, may Allah aid them, as I've got here, say Palestine, and this is what we always have to remember, never stop the activism and boycott as well, and that's why we've got these colas here. We want to make sure that we do our bit in order to support and alleviate the suffering of the Palestinians, and the wider Muslim causes, Kashmir, Syria, and whatever it may, Afghanistan and whatnot. So Gaza has now happened, and charities, so dollars, pound, and yens, right? So you went to Egypt. When did you go to Egypt?
So I think I got there end of October, beginning of November.
Okay.
Yeah.
And am I okay to ask you which charities you were working with in Egypt?
Alongside.
Yes.
So like I said, because of my bad experiences, I've always worked then alongside organisations. Like, it's like I won't work for them. I'm not a representative of theirs.
So you make that clear.
So I'll work alongside. This is ever since once bitten, twice shy. Do you know what I mean? I've always, so I've always had that thing where I've made it known to people that I'm working alongside. I'm not working for.
And how is that received by the charities?
They're cool with it because they know, my work rate is solid, which you know yourself.
Yeah, which I've seen.
I go there. I'm hands on.
You are.
And I do my work. I don't go there to play.
Of course.
And
I'll compare testament because I've been to Egypt with Brother Imy, and we were there for 5 days, just over 5 days, and we did a lot, didn't we, in those 5 days? That was during the Eid al-Adha celebration, so check that video out. I think it was called, and we've got Grape. So before we continue, Gaza Relief, Egypt Alliance team, we have a team in Egypt who support, how many families, how much do we support?
I think we're up to 70 now. I think
70,
around 70, and I think within them, there's like offshoots of their families and
so, and I've met them as well. So well, as I said before, I've obviously done campaigns, and talking about charities, when I've raised money, and Amy could testify to this, every single penny that I've raised, who does it go to?
Go straight.
Go straight.
Yeah.
And how much money we've raised a lot together, haven't we?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Yeah.
I've given it to,
Yeah, straight to me, and you've seen it go straight.
and I've seen it.
showed
I've got the receipts as well.
Yeah, I'll show you
So
video,
footage,
you get
and
everything,
even
don't
we've
you?
got everything.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's not
if anyone wants to ask us, we're more than willing to give that information, right, Amy?
100%.
Okay. So you're in Egypt now. You were working alongside who?
So Muslims in need,
Muslims in need.
and we're doing with a couple of organisations, but from Europe.
Oh, they're not UK
So
based.
yeah, so we're just helping them along the way.
Okay.
You know, like, so they're jumping on our blueprint or what we're doing,
Of course.
and then Muslim Needs were the UK charity at the time. Yeah.
So Muslims in need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how was the experience working with the Muslims in need?
You know, first, we need to clear this up. With the founders,
Mhm.
there's no issue. The only issue with founders is that they should be watching the representatives a lot more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is leading on to now with.
Yes, which we're going to get to.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna
do
get
you
to,
find
yeah.
that the leadership from X, Y, or Z charity, we're speaking about Muslims in need, but
Yeah.
just speaking across the board, that if they have representatives,
Yeah.
there needs to be accountability.
100%.
And do you find that lacking?
100%?
Okay.
No.
And that's with one charity. But, you said you worked in Lebanon. Oh, sorry, you went to Greece, the islands. You went to Pakistan. You went to Yemen.
Yeah.
Just expanding this, do you find that also the case with other charities as well?
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
Leadership's all.
Okay.
You know that everyone's busy in their own lives, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
It's all good. You set a charity up.
Yeah.
With the best intentions, obviously,
course.
because it is with the best intentions,
Definitely.
and then you find people that you can trust, and then the structure, it goes down, doesn't it? Yeah, you find people you can trust, and you leave them to this, you leave them to that, and to the other.
That's right.
So you sort of take your eye off the ball a little bit.
Okay.
It seems that's what I've noticed with a lot of them. Take the eye off the ball, and then it's like you're missing what's going on.
When you were working Muslims in need,
Alongside them.
sorry, I keep saying that. When you were working alongside Muslims in need, how was the operations? How was their planning, their logistics? Because ultimately, me and the brothers who are here, we just with the kindness of our heart give, and then we expect that the logistics, the planning, the organization, who's representing them, has to be on board, right? It has to be concrete. Do you find that the case with the charities that you were working with, or was it just anyone just hops on and let's go? It's more of a holiday.
With that side, look, the thing is, these deployments, what people said, the term deployment gets used a lot.
Military deployment.
You go on these deployments. The founders, they don't see what exactly is going on.
Uh-huh.
So, it's like there's drinking, taking.
Amongst those who are on deployment with charities.
100%. There's drinking, drug taking.
Wow.
And
let me stop you there. You've seen that?
I've seen it, of course I've seen it.
Wow.
I used to stay away from certain hotels where other people used to stay, so I don't fall in.
They can't blame
being
you.
Tarnished with the same brush.
Wow. And these
I used to make sure, and everyone knows this. With anyone who's been over, to Egypt, it used to be a thing. How come Imi's not staying at the hotels? Well, don't stay at the hotels, because listen, Imi's not coming down with sinking ship. You know what I mean?
SubhanAllah.
So but
And are these brothers who you were working alongside, or those charities you were working alongside?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Was this a norm?
Yeah, of course it is a norm. It's a norm. It's
So
it's not just with one particular charity. Listen,
Wow.
It seems to be it's a holiday, isn't it? But it's like you're doing one good thing here, you're doing 50 bad things here.
But no one sees those bad things.
They don't see it, but the problem, the thing is, like we touched on this when I was talking about it before. Yeah. It's like I'm just giving an example here. I'm not saying that you do. I'm just giving an example.
Hope not.
I'll give an example myself. So look, you smoke weed, I smoke weed.
I don't smoke weed, by the way.
I don't either, by the way. Yeah, but I'm just saying, you smoke weed, I smoke weed. He drinks. I've seen you smoke weed, me and you smoke weed together. These two have drank together. We're in the same place.
Yeah.
So now, who's going to say that this brother's doing this and that brother's doing that?
Yeah.
Because the other one will say, well, yeah, hang on a minute, but I've seen you doing this. I've seen you doing that.
It's true.
So they're all in the same boat here now.
And it reminds me, and the brother there, we were just speaking about it a couple of days ago when, and I'm speaking historically now, when Yazid took over, one of the Umayyad caliphs, and they wanted to topple him. So Hussein Radha Anhu had a half brother called Muhammad bin Hanafiya, who was a scholar, who was the half brother of Hussein radiallahu anhu. So he was born when Ali radiallahu anhu went on the conquest, or the Ridda Wars, when the tribes apostated. Then he had a slave girl, and then he was born from that. So marriage. Well, wasn't marriage. I think she was a concubine. Anyway, so Muhammad al-Hanafiyyah was a scholar.
Okay.
So when one of the companions, his name was Abdullah ibn Muti' radiallahu anhu, companion, and he wanted to topple Yazid.
Yeah.
So he went to Muhammad bin Hanafiyyah because he needs legitimacy now. If you got the half son of Ali radiallahu anhu, you're going to get people behind you, right? Like we were talking about before, get people behind you.
Yeah.
So to cut in the narration, it's very lengthy, to be there when you hire him. And he was saying, look, Yazid is this, Yazid is that. And he said, look, he drinks and he does this. And then Muhammad bin Hanafiyyah bin Asqar said, okay, so if he drinks, then you must have been around that company then. So what were you doing?
Yeah.
Then Abdullah bin Muti' radiallahu anhu said, no, we've heard. And he goes, this is not befitting in the Shar. Unless you were there and saw it, you can't testify against it. So similar to this. So everyone's doing the same thing. Who's going to testify against each other?
This is the thing.
So this is in the name of charity, brothers and sisters. Your donations are going to these volunteers, and they're having a party.
But remember, this is not everyone, is it?
Of course.
But now, because we're moving on to some of what's come to light now, isn't it?
This is important.
Yeah.
And Muslims in need now. So since you're, well, Brother Imy, you shouldn't really praise someone into Mubarak, but he's been to Egypt many times. I think the last time we went was together, wasn't we?
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
And when we got to the passport control, and I mean, he was looking at your passport. And it was like, you come back again. 18 times in about 7 months, tabarakallah al-azim. And this is all off, not donations. This is Brothers Imy's.
Of course, look,
yeah.
you know with mine how it goes. Look, you've donated some before as well. You know the amount. I'm not going to mention it.
No, I
you
don't
know how much a month.
I know.
You know how much a month.
I know.
What I use to sustain.
Exactly. I know everything.
Couple close people, they donate a little bit, but my.
And I donate.
I send a bulk over every month, no matter what, donations or no donations. I send a bulk over, and if you get a donation, I'll say, okay, but you can jump.
Which we've been sustaining for a while.
Put on for this month, and then I'll put it back,
and then I'll spread the word to my people.
Keep that kitty going,
and it's all in house, by the way. It's all in house. The first campaign I did was online, just giving 2 campaigns for the families, 2 families. Can't remember the families' names now. Who did?
Abdurrahman. Yeah, it was Abdurrahman.
Yeah, Abdurrahman. So we've got obviously families that we're sustaining, and it's over a long period of time. Whether it's medical, whether it's schooling.
Over a year now.
Yeah.
Over a year.
Since you went,
I've been sustaining them.
So medical, hospital, education, even medical operations, lifestyle, recreation. So it's like our coordinator, Mel Rewarder, she says sustainability.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. Sustainability. So we've have information has come to light regarding foul play.
Yeah. So
is that a light way?
Yeah, that's a polite way of putting it. Isn't
it? Polite way.
Polite way of putting it.
So foul play of,
because I'm not allowed to use certain.
I would use certain profanities. We're cusses, aren't we?
Always get told off.
Yeah. We want to keep this PG.
Yeah.
Try to keep it PG. So information has come to light, and abuse, exploitation has manifested with evidence now.
Yeah, so there's a reason why we brought up, management and things.
Yeah.
So I brought it to their attention regarding one of their representatives.
Yeah.
In Egypt when we were over there, and they came to see me, and so I said, look, I can't work even alongside you guys because of this, and this. And for me, telling them was for them to address it. Yeah, this is what you'd expect, wouldn't you, for someone to address it? But then, fast forward now a few months. And then I'm looking at someone's phone, an associate of mine. I'm looking at his phone to get something out of it, and I've seen these text messages. And the text message was this same representative who's still working with Muslims in need, wearing their logos and everything else.
Ivies.
Yeah, still wearing them, still working alongside them, still asking for donations for them, saying to this associate of both of us that I can get money into the West Bank at 5%, but me and you could put 5% each on top, because we could even charge them up to 20%.
Repeat that again for me, please.
So he's saying that this said representative.
The representative.
Yeah. So he's saying that he can get money into the West Bank at 5%. So there's 5% charge on the money that goes into the West
The
Bank.
merchant
Yeah,
fees.
and then the West Bank. Yeah, and West Bank then the money can get into Gaza. Yeah, this is what they're claiming.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's one.
and in the same message, then he's saying, well, you can put on an extra 5%, and I can put on 5% because people are charging up to 20%. So we're undercutting the 5%, but
Wow.
they're still making. Look at this. So say now, if you donate, if you say to this,
So give an
this guy,
example
if
so
you say
people
to this
understand.
guy now. So if you say to this guy now, right, listen, I want to donate. I want to send.
Use me as the weed example. Use me as the weed
So I
example.
want to send £1,000
1,000.
to get it into Gaza. Yeah.
Gaza, yeah.
So the representative, Muslim League representative, is saying, well, yeah, I can get it in for you at a 15% charge.
Okay.
So then they're taking 15% out of your £1,000
Yeah.
when really it's only the charge really is 5%. So they're making an extra 10%.
5% each.
Yeah.
And we have evidence.
I've showed it, haven't I?
We have evidence.
So this is why, I left it, obviously, because I spoke to Muslims. I thought, well, you're not doing anything about it. Cool, no problem. And we carried on doing our work. But then this has come up.
Yeah.
So hence why we're here now again.
So that's evidence that we have regarding the representative,
Yeah.
and it will be addressed.
Yeah.
So just to let you know, we will be reaching out. So this activity or this process, do you think this is happening across the board? You can't say for sure.
Well, look, we can't say for sure, can we? But it's got look.
Do you reckon he's approached other individuals, like our associate? Do you reckon he's
Allah knows best, innit? Yeah, but if he's approached one person, come on, the probability of approaching more and more people, or had have approached more and more people.
That's hard to digest. Even now, after knowing this for a considerable amount of time.
Mm.
And in the name of charity. So this is why it's important, brothers and sisters, when you see campaigns, sponsored ads, I'm sure you've seen them.
Yeah.
Rest assured that you will find those who are your popular speakers, influencers, that's a new trend as well.
Yeah.
When you see those ads requesting money, I am 99.7, I won't say 90.9 because that's too serious, 99.7% they're taking a cut. I'm 99.7 certain.
It's this whole thing, isn't it, where they've convinced themselves and interpreted, hadith and these things, or Quranic verses themselves, because they throw all this at you, don't they? Like, when you pull people out when you're talking to people, because I've spoken to them before, they say, well, if the person's allowed to take this.
They want to use that.
And this is what they use. Like, look, you know yourself. Look,
no.
I'm not the
Let them try that with me.
I'm not the most
acute
Islamic revised person. I've never claimed to be. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
So, but come on, there's got
and that verse, وَالْعَامِلِينَ عَلَيْهَا. I've got a video to record. Because again, I'm not going to theology now, but there's different strands, aren't there? We know, of who scholars or which scholars certain charities prefer. I've got a video to record where no matter what spectrum you're from, this وَالْعَامِلِينَ عَلَيْهَا and the ummal and the nuwab, this is very technical, very technical. They are not representatives.
Yeah, I've watched.
I've got more
explaining it. Which was good. Yeah.
In detail. This is known amongst the Islamic corpuses, the Islamic canon, that if you are amilun, there is conditions for you to be ummal, meaning to be workers. And those particular bodies or scholars that they look up to, I've got scholars from their books saying today's so-called charitable organizations are not workers in that verse in Surah Tawbah.
So tell me something. How do you address this then now?
Yeah, go on.
Look, so
it's supposed to be the other way around. I'm supposed to be addressing you. What's going on?
I'm sure I'm allowed to ask
you are right. One or two. They'll charge you for the third one.
Look, the Pakistan charity court.
Yes. I've just come from Pakistan. I've seen their signs everywhere.
So I've mentioned this to you before on the last podcast.
Yeah, repeat again for those who haven't watched it.
So basically, a sister, she got in touch with me. She asked me, says regarding donating some money to charity, and I said, look, mine's a monthly thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every month we sustain these families. So I said, look, they've been sustained this month. I said, but next month, I said, by all means, bismillah.
Yeah.
So anyway, but the sister was eager, So about 2 weeks later, she rings me up and says, the charity court, what do you think about them? I said, I don't really know much about them. I said,
KORT, by the way.
Other than the work they do in Pakistan, which seems really good.
Yeah, it does. I'll just come back from that. I see their signs and their logos
it seems
everywhere.
really good what they do. So I said, why, what's up? So she sort of like tried putting on me saying, well, you didn't take the money, and I took it. So I said, whoa, listen, I told you, I said, wait a month, and you could take all next month, or whatever you want to do. So she said, also, I donated it to them anyway, and they've not really given me anything, no accountability, no transparency.
So she donated the money to
she
court.
donated to court for Gaza.
Can I just stop you there? Don't they operate in Pakistan and Kashmir?
Yeah, but like all the other organisations,
they're branching out now.
Wanted, everyone,
the cash cow's got
do something. Do you know what I mean?
Not the cash cow. Let's just say.
Yeah. So then he said, "Oh, they sent me one video, so show me the video." And I said, "Well, that video, I said, is nothing." So I got in touch with the guy anyway, myself, the CEO of court. Yeah. Okay. And I said to him, I said, "Well, where's all this? You know, the QR codes and the inventories and whatever else." And
could you elaborate on that? What do you mean by that? So the audience who don't know what happened.
So when we were sending food from Egypt to the Rafah crossing, Palestine at Gaza, yeah. So there's a process, isn't there? So Egyptian Red Crescent, and they give you a QR code. Once they've checked everything, bang on, whatever you put on that truck. Yeah. They tell you, so they give you a QR code. You have your inventory, they stamp it. There's a process in it, of certain things what you'd get back from them.
Paperwork,
yeah. Because you.
Yeah, no, I've seen it.
You're donating. Yeah.
It needs to be a trail, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So he said, "Oh, we didn't use them, Egyptian Red Crescent." I said, "Well, who did you use then?" So he's told me. So anyway, long story short, so I got in touch with somebody over there in Egypt, a friend of mine. I said, "Look," I says, "this is the situation." He said, "Well, just get the license. They must have the license, the inventory, and and the registration of the truck."
Oh,
he said, "Everybody, that's just standard." Yeah, that's just standard, whether it's Egyptian Red Crescent, whether it's whatever. So I rang the guy back up, said, "Listen," I said, "this is what we need from you, innit, to give us some peace of mind, that stuff." Anyways, never got back to me.
So transparency is non-existent.
Never got back to me.
How much did the sister donate?
£20,000.
How much?
20,000.
£20,000
pound, yeah. UK pound.
In one go.
In one go, yeah. And she,
and what did they provide? Did they provide anything? Did they?
They give a video, but the video wasn't even a fraction of what would have accumulated to £20,000 of stock. I know, because we were doing.
Yeah. You know how much.
Sending food through.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was nothing.
So £20,000.
And for him then to just completely just dismiss his sister, ignore her. It does raise eyebrows, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Allah knows best.
So this one example.
Anyway, sorry. So this is what I was asking you. I said, so how do you tackle this? So when we mentioned this on the last podcast, it's like I was getting, people saying to me, such a person was saying, how come Imi's mentioned these lots, name on, publicly. He should have just spoke to him,
Okay.
Should have spoke to him, behind closed doors, basically, yeah.
All right.
I said, well, I did give him the call. I gave him the opportunity to rectify it. He didn't rectify it.
That's right. So what's the issue? That you're not supposed to address mistrust, betrayal, corruption. Yeah. Everything has to be done privately. Look, when it comes to the Islamic principle of tackling corruption and
this is what I'm getting at. Yeah, what's the...
So if we're living under a Sharia compliant Islamic country, we have what we call Hisbah. So those who are going around and, checking and who are accountable, enjoying the good, forbidding the evil and whatnot. So when it comes to sins, so there's a hadith, the Prophet says, all my ummati are forgiven.
Okay.
Apart from those who make their sins apparent. Now this doesn't apply here. Okay. So what happens? Now complaint, if a complaint cannot be resolved privately, in order to warn others of the harms of those who have been oppressed or, like you were saying, that they took their money, there were no accountability. That's our right, Islamically.
Okay.
Islam, look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we hear it in the Jummah khutbah all the time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enjoins justice. You see? Yeah. Now, if you have those who are responsible, and you got the hudud punishments, which are obviously prescribed, so like if you drink, you commit zina, whatnot, they're prescribed. The hudud, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned it. But there's a thing called ta'zir. Ta'zir, those are hudud, or not hudud, sorry, but they are Islamic punishments prescribed based on what the qadi would, depending on the crime. Okay. You see? So this individual, and again, once again, there's no transparency. So my right and your right and anyone's right, if you donate to a charity, you have the right to say, what's happened with my money? Yeah. Can I see paperwork? Can I see an audit trail like you were asking for? So yes, whoever said, this is more religious, or I'm more religious than thou, sort of, approach. Okay, what if you call that individual and he doesn't come back to you? What do you do then?
Well, that's what happened, wasn't it?
No, but what do you do? Just sit there and be quiet? Islam, you know what I mean, has a clear policy when it comes to injustices.
Yeah.
And you try to, like, darkness will never ever be allowed. We would try to override that with light. So this is just excuses, and that's what we find. We find in our time nowadays, Brother Imy, is that excuses, we've been so desensitized that when we call out, and I'm going to do a video on it, and I'll just sort of play the hadith, in fact, and it's a very noble hadith. I'll just give it as a preview, but it's not. That the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that if any one of you avoids speaking the truth or prevents from speaking the truth due to the fear of the people, right? Abu Sa'id, who narrated this hadith, is authentic, by the way. I'll present in my next video. Abu Sa'id mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will continue to afflict us with punishment until we end it. You see? So whoever is prevented from speaking the truth, if he knows it, if he knows it, then this is the consequence.
Yeah.
So you knew it.
Yeah.
What did you do? You enjoyed. You went public and you said, "I know of this injustice," and So you're acting upon prophetic narration.
It's crazy though, isn't it? How people try justifying and try to come to someone's defense.
And knowing,
yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
So when we eventually, and this is important as well, that when we reach out to Muslims in need to discuss the issues with the representative, what results do we want?
For me, what I'd expect is that obviously they pull the person up.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say if someone came to me with the same thing. Let's just put it
about me.
Yeah. If someone came about you and said, "This is what he's done. Here's the evidence." No. I'd say, "Well, look." I said, "Well, you can no longer work with us."
Okay.
And they could do that private. That's fine. But then publicly
explain.
They
have to do it publicly.
Publicly explain to people that, listen, this came to our attention and we've resolved it. And how we resolved it. This is what we've done. This is the action we've taken. Yeah, because donors should know, shouldn't they? Donors should know that the head of the organizations don't take this stuff lightly.
Yeah. Examples need to be made.
100%.
As a deterrent for those who are considering abusing charity.
Yeah.
And the Amilun or the Amilina argument, I would love for the day that someone approaches me and you, sits here with us, which we're going to eventually do, and try to justify that they're Amilun according to Islamic text, according to Islamic culture. I'll wait for that day. And that shows that abuse of the text is more common than we think. And garbs with, scholars with religious garbs, and, it's ridiculous. So for moving forward now, because I want to make it solution focused now. So we have other charities that we're not painting everyone with the same brush.
No. Look, we're not painting the whole of Muslim need with the same brush.
Thank you.
We're not doing this. Because I know. Look, I personally know the brothers of Muslim need. Okay,
I don't know them personally. I know two brothers, representatives.
Yeah, they're good brothers.
Okay,
good brothers, and they've come into this with the best of intentions.
Okay, and this representative.
But it's a shame. It's a shame that that they've allowed representatives knowingly to an extent, because I've pulled them on certain things before.
Oh, you have in the past?
Yeah, of course.
You want to elaborate on that?
And so there was the said representative. So for social media clout, they were working with a bit of a shady someone from a shady political party that was more harm to the Palestinians and good to the Palestinians.
Okay, fair enough.
So. And this is when I explained to him, I said, listen, we can't work alongside you. I said, because your name is your logo is being put alongside this particular logo.
Okay.
Because how can it sit right?
Okay.
So it doesn't. So I explained to him, this when they came to see me, and I explained to him who this person is and who, the political party and everything. Yet they carried on choosing to keep a representative on side.
Okay, so there was no action.
Which is crazy, really, yeah.
So let me ask you then, playing devil's advocate, do you expect anything less than what we have now? Like, they've already, shrugged the issues that you raised to them previously. Why should we expect them to be more?
Well, we don't.
I'll be willing, just to add as well. Because like I said, the due justice is that we've got this information and it's only fair that the representative in question answers.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, according to what we have. Now, if we don't get any solution and we don't get any you know, think what would be satisfactorily.
And we publicly name
Then
and
we
shame
will
them.
publicly name and shame. So just to add, I'm not, and this is something that's gonna be a common theme now. You know, this deen and those who exploit it have been doing it for far too long. And this is why it's called beyond the surface. We're going to scratch beyond the surface, not just in the charity sector. There's others, as we just experienced recently when the news broke about this Ponzi scheme. I'm going to be addressing that later. So, and even, you know, other things as well. So rest assured, we need to normalize, and I think this is it. And as I explained for the hadith, and I'll present others as well, that we've neglected this. I think, like you said about those who are drinking and those who are going to, you know, X, Y, and Z.
I think what it is, even if like, you know, the people who, you know, they're associated in some way on, you know, doing what they've been doing while they've been out there, is, I think, even if, no, because then it's like, once they know, then they'll be shying away from saying anything because they've been doing things together, other things. So, do you know what I mean?
So they have...
they have to sort of semi-protect each other, don't they? So
they have dirt on each other.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So if you try to, you know, if you have a change of heart, like everyone can, you know, Ya Muqallibul Qulub, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changes the heart and moves the heart. So if one wants to now come out, which if you'd be stupid to do so if you'd be doing the same thing, but how can you?
This is the thing. And I think that goes back to, you know, where, look, it's like with court, it was blatant, wasn't it? It was blatant. He took the money, he didn't have it in transparent. I spoke to him myself, so I know it's 110%. The sister's not lying about how much she's donated. She's not lying about how much accountability she got. Transparency. So for them people still to sort of defend this organization and this guy,
I know. It'd be stupid, wouldn't it?
It's crazy, isn't it? All.
But look, and Imy, you know how the world works. You've been, you know more than me. You've lived longer than me, and you've seen a lot more than me. When there's a deterrent and there's a potential consequence, people come in order, don't they?
Yeah.
Whatever spectrum it might be, whether it's street justice, whether it's the law, or whether it's even expose.
But you know, you've got to really question yourself, haven't you? You know, if you know something, if someone's give concrete evidence about something, and they're telling you this person has done this, or, you know, whatever, you've got to really question yourself if you're still defending this person. It speaks volumes about you, doesn't it?
Your character,
yeah,
your
intentions. It does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
but
I would say
really
so.
Need to
I would definitely do. I would definitely hold a negative opinion of such person where presented with evidence. Because it's not hearsay.
Look,
and this is what we want to verify.
Yeah, because there's smaller sins and bigger sins, isn't there? Well, the small, you know, and if you're one of the, like, say example now, if I'm one of these people that is smoking weed with someone, or if I was drinking with someone, and let's just say this person, like, you give anything, you know, like rape someone, there's a whole different level, you know, there's a whole different level, isn't there?
Yeah, true.
So I wouldn't really give a crap about if someone else exposes me smoking weed or it's drinking.
Yeah, I know you mean.
To oust a rapist.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course. The greater good and the greater harm.
Good. So these people, you know, who think they have to sort of, like, you know, stand up and sort of like protect this person. You know?
Let me ask you then, Imy, if said person, said representative, we don't get the results or the desired results, because ultimately it's all about rectification.
Listen, bro, we're calling them out.
We'll go public. But why do you think such person will be defended then? Why? Because I don't understand.
Like I said to you, because people do things together, little smaller things together, don't they?
Okay.
You know, so they'll feel some sort of loyalty in a strange, weird kind of way. Do you know what I mean? Because people do, don't they?
But abuse.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. If these people who are doing like smaller things with a said person now know what this person is doing, these people need to just stand back, don't they?
Yeah. I would. That's a bare minimum,
because this is what I'm saying. Because that speaks volumes about you, then, doesn't it?
Credibility.
If you know now that this person's doing something on another level, and you're defending him because you've done something on a smaller level with him, then you need to really question yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
That's just my.
I would say so, and once again, it's subjective, but I think anyone with some rationality and fairness, which is a key word, would definitely think the way we're thinking.
Yeah, 100%. Come on.
What about and again, I don't want to make this too long. What do you think about the whole 100% donation policy? That's the pull, isn't it? With the charity sector, because we're talking about charities. It's only fair that I bring that up. What's your thoughts on that, Amy?
For me, look, for me, 100% donation is 100%, and all this thing about gift aid, you know, so if someone gives £100, then if they do the gift aid on it, they get, you know, the charity gets £125 rather than just £100.
Yeah.
And where people are using this whole thing where they're saying, well, it's gift aid, and the person didn't give that. They only give £100, so we can use the gift aid as we see fit, admin fees or this fees and that fees, and then. I think it's a load of BS, brother.
Do you?
You know, for me, look, it is.
So how would they sustain their operations then?
You know, there's brothers out there, and I've seen this with several organisations, where there's brothers who say to charity organisations and sisters who say to charity organisations, well, we'll cover all your admin costs and expenditure.
So it does happen.
There's people out there, who say, look, that's our donation to you.
For how long though?
Yeah, but look, if
it's possible.
Of course, no, people do it. But then on the other side of things, look, if you're saying you're a volunteer, then you're a volunteer. Well, what is a volunteer, bro? It's not even, you know, I've read the dictionary once or twice. Do you know?
No, I don't think I've read once in school.
You know, so no, a volunteer is someone who's giving their services for free.
Yeah, volunteer. Yeah.
Is it or is it not?
We turned our phones off. We could probably.
So there's plenty of volunteers out there. I'm a volunteer. Everything I do is voluntary.
Yeah.
Which you know, everything I do is voluntary.
So this 100% donation policy, I think what it is similar to, and again, I'm not saying it's the case. I hope it isn't, where butchers or, you know, restaurants or takeaways just stick a halal logo on the window.
I think charity organisations need to be more transparent about their 100% donation policy. If your 100% donation policy means that out of that 100% we are taking certain fees, then say it at the beginning. You know what I believe? Don't just put it up 100% donation.
Do you know what I believe, really and truly? I've spoken to charities about how they maintain their 100% donation policy. I wasn't satisfied, so I don't really want to mention, you know, names and such. But what I believe, and this is what I believe, and I got no evidence for it, but I could be corrected, is that when they say 100% donation policy, right, it's written 100% donation policy. I believe that it's not entirely 100% donation, but meaning the zakat is 100%. But the sadaqah, which is the tawwa, which is the voluntary sadaqah, they take from there. But it's just must. 100% donation. It's not clear, is it? 100% donation.
People just need to stop mincing words in it and just say things as it is.
Exactly.
Like
so it's very cute.
You respect it more for that, don't you?
No, but it's cute though. This is the transparency, that argument that we're making. So when I started this, and funny enough, how I saw Brother Imy's, how we got in touch, was I was just scrolling through Facebook, and again, colourful language, but I've seen Amy knows what I'm talking about. So I seen Imy's video, and I think someone shared it. So in Facebook, you could share, even if you're not following, you could share it. And I seen you pop up, and then you just wrote something, and I thought, okay, this has got my interest. Played it, and you were just effing and blinding.
You have to remember, but I remember that video at that time is like, remember, we were grafting, bro. You know, listen,
I know.
And you know, and we were in the, and this is when the genocide just started.
Yeah.
And we were doing the best we could. We were doing like 20-hour days. Literally, some days was 20 hours where we were making sure trucks were loaded, trucks were going. We've got a picture. So someone took a picture somewhere where the owner of this factory is on like this side of the sofa, and I'm on this side of the sofa, and we're both sleeping.
Wow!
Like because this is how
Tiring,
we just fell asleep. Just sat down for a minute and we fell asleep. This is how deep we were. This is how the pace we were working at. We were like just exhausted.
So what happened then?
And then we get an email. We get an email from an organisation in the UK saying, "Oh, this is the price of what we're paying." I think from the UK, Europe. Anyway, they said this is the prices we're being given, and if anyone wants to come on board, we can source the stock for you at this price.
Well, how much was
it? They were like triple. If you that video, you can see. You can't really see it. You can't. But I remember going through it from the phone.
You're reading it,
and I'm sure something I put to the thing. I was getting someone to read it out as to what's it saying on there. Crazy,
triple the cross.
I mean, I think one of them was like £3,200. We were paying for something, and they were saying 9,800.
Do you mind if you mention that charity? If you could you remember?
Wow, you know, I can't remember the organisation top of my head, bro. I can't remember it.
So is that lack of
again leadership? Like, people not doing the due diligence.
So they're taking advantage, knowing that brothers and sisters would donate, considering what's happening in Palestine.
Yeah.
So moving forward, how do we get the charities to somehow speak from the same tune? Like I really want charities to unify.
100%.
I think that's the way forward.
To get it done.
Thank you.
Look, you know, for this particular thing here we're talking about now is, you know, organizations, they've been working alongside certain people and whatever else, and they don't want to get tarnished, and they don't have to say that, listen, we did not know about this, and get up and say it. Yeah. Don't shy away from it, and don't think, you know, because look, it's happened, and it's not exclusive. I'm sure it's not exclusive. There'll be loads of other people that, you know, have took their eye off the ball a little bit, and certain things have happened. You know, of
course, mistakes happen.
I don't want to keep you know, going on to another thing while we're tackling a certain thing. But if you remember, can't remember, there was an organisation, and the representatives were like, you know, sexually assaulting
Penny Appeal
in
Gambia.
That was it.
Penny Appeal.
They were sexually assaulting.
Volunteers
were sexually assaulting.
But Penny Appeal. I remember.
You know. But you know,
what happened?
I remember I was seeing people taking Penny Appeal signs down from, you know, their places because they were, you know, working alongside them and all that. Yeah.
What's happened since?
Fine, but look, you know, things happen.
I know.
Things happen, but, you know, rectify it, like, you know, and make sure it doesn't happen again. So, you know, so what if you've worked alongside, you know, that is an example, but you move on, you just make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what charity organisations have to do, is just stand up and say, okay, we worked alongside these people, and, you know, okay, we've seen what they've done. Nothing like that didn't happen under our watch, so to speak. We were unaware of this. Yeah. It's cool. Then just move on. But unify yourself then and structure yourselves in a certain way. Like I've always said, you know, imagine if one or two organisations just dealt with water. Imagine another two organisations just dealt with medicine. Imagine another two just dealt with clothes. We could solve a lot of the problems.
But we talk about uniting the ummah. This is what I find the hypocritical, is that we speak about the ummah needs to unite in the face of Palestine, but charities don't unite for a common goal. You want to support and alleviate Palestine. So why don't the major charities? Okay, there's a charity propping up everybody week in there because gift aid is appealing, right?
Oh yeah.
So the major charities who've got a foothold in the charity sector, and you're doing it for fi sabilillah, which is ibadah. Yeah. Why can't you unite together under one unified body? Because how do you split the gift aid then, right?
It's not.
Do you reckon that what it is?
It's not.
What do you reckon it is? I think that's an incentive, right?
That's an incentive. But I don't think it's just the gift aid.
Which is
I think it's the social media clout.
But they'll get the clout together.
No, but they don't want it together. Egos.
Oof.
Egos.
Me.
Egos. Look, if people want this social media clout, show a picture of me getting all the water, me getting the food, me getting the medicine, me doing
the mashallah come your way.
Me doing that.
The mashallah come your way.
All in it. Do you know?
I got you. So it's ego. It's it's popularity.
It's got to be. What else can it? You know, come on.
But that's what I don't understand. Look, we're working for a while now.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, yeah.
Have we, apart from the one video, just to show what we're doing, have we done anything else?
No, you know, before at this, obviously awareness won it first.
Yeah.
For me, it's like it was all awareness and, you know, letting people know, you know, and, you know, my motto has always been, come and take the blueprint, do it yourself.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. I know what you do, and I know.
But look, you know, alhamdulillah, look, it's
working.
We're sustaining.
Yeah, we are sustaining. I get like with the coordinator, Allah bless her, and I keep saying that she should watch it. She'll probably, you know, think she's doing a bit too much.
No, she's a great woman.
She's great, yeah. And I get monthly reports.
Yeah.
And that wallet.
Yeah.
The wallet that how much has gone out. Then the photos and then the receipts, like literally,
videos
like,
off the people.
And the groups that I'm in.
Yeah.
And this is the blueprint. So going into the arguing about transparency and we can't really do it. Look, it can be done.
It can be done.
It can be done. I can't buy that for a second.
Remember, we're just individuals. These are organizations.
You don't take a wage.
No, I don't take a wage. No,
I don't take a wage.
No.
And we've been working like 4, 5 months now. We've been
4 or
doing
5
it.
months, yeah, we've
Yep.
been doing it.
Not one penny you've taken.
Never.
If anything, you've been paying from your own pocket.
Well, you know yourself, you know.
Yeah, no,
you
I don't
know
need to say. I'm just saying for the audience.
donations that do come.
I'll give straight to you.
Yeah, but I'm saying donations that do come, they never exceed
What you asked for.
what we
Yeah, on the
what we need.
sustainability. Yeah,
Sustainability, does it?
yeah. We never ever go over.
But it doesn't exceed it, does it?
No,
you know,
no.
it doesn't exceed it.
If anything, you say
That's what
hold
I'm
on to
saying.
that. I've
'Cause, yeah,
sustained,
but,
and then next month.
Yeah, because we've already done that.
Yeah,
You know,
but they
that's how
don't.
it goes, yeah.
But they don't.
Everyone's building this pot, building this pot, building this pot.
Yeah, and there's so many of them. Honestly, it's like, look, in Gaza right about now, and again, I just want to conclude because it's important. It makes the heart bleed knowing that a pillar of our faith, they are charlatans, phonies that are abusing Muslim causes where our brothers and sisters are facing a genocide, and we're having public speakers and du'at, releasing a video just so that they.
Here's one.
Go on.
So, representatives from organisations, so they be showing the work what's getting done, yeah, what they're doing.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
The organisations are asking for donations.
Okay.
How many people do you think get in touch with that representative themselves?
Hardly.
Asking, getting in touch with the representative themselves who are viewing this person, saying, whether can I donate? Whether can I donate? Or their friends giving them donations directly that you don't see.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. That's not accounted for.
So on the back of that organisation, on the back of organisations,
Yeah, how much they're getting, which
the views what this whole organisation has got,
yeah,
are getting in touch, and this person's getting in touch themselves with them people.
Yeah. It's
So it makes sense, doesn't it, to join an organisation, innit?
Yeah.
For people to get to know you.
Yeah. Then you become the face. Then you get invited, and people want you to join their platform. It's all clout, algorithm, and whatnot.
What are you getting from it?
Yeah, and as I was saying, like, just to conclude again, when you look at Gaza, and ever since the year, it's just been absolutely horrifying. And even, politicians and political analysts are arguing whether, genocide is appropriate. But that's a different discussion.
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions have been raised, right? You would have
Easy.
Easy. That's not even a question.
Easy,
that's not even debatable. Hundreds of millions have been raised. Amongst the charities, coordination, logistics and whatnot. Yeah, it's difficult. Israelis, evacuation orders and whatnot.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to ask, we know what's happening. Before I get to that, we know Israelis have closed the border. It's very limited aid getting in. Even UNWRA have been banned and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you showed me as well from someone high up what they told us.
Yeah.
And what did they tell us? Remember you saying that since May and since that time?
Yeah.
What did they say exactly? So
Nothing, not even a bean or a pea. Said one or the other, didn't they?
Yeah.
Not even a bean or a pea went in through that crossing.
Through the Rafah crossing.
Yeah.
So you're seeing cook hot meals, right? So these hot meals, I'm sure that you have limited supply,
100%.
and they're going to run out eventually.
100%.
So hundreds of millions have been raised. My question:
haven't United Nations said that it's the famine now?
Yeah, it's famine. So that's what I was going to get to.
Famine then?
Thank you. So hundreds of millions have been raised. If you're saying, okay, we're going to use that later, but then your advertisement and your marketing is as if based on what you watch, and I'm viewing it as an average Muslim thinking how to support. I would assume that you're actively got aid going in. That's what I would think.
Yeah.
But it's not the case, is it?
No.
So, last message to Muslims in need. We'll be in touch soon.
Yeah.
We want answers.
Of course.
We don't know, and I say this off the back, that the representative in question has made them aware of these transactions. We don't know.
No.
So this is what we want to know, right?
Of course, yeah.
And if they are aware of these transactions, what would your response be?
What's it going to be? Oh, come on.
I'm just asking.
They need shutting down, don't they?
Okay. So that's a bit.
But like I said, I know the brothers. I know them well, and they're good, and they're not. They're not into this to exploit people.
Of course.
This is my. It's like they're not responsible for what the representatives are doing, but they're responsible when they've been made aware to address it.
Yeah. So that's what we want.
And it needs addressing
as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So that's my message as well. And I stress once again that we will be in contact. it's not allegations. I've seen the evidence, so I've seen them, and I'm not saying this for the mere fact of blowing this out of proportion. It's bad.
But and another thing, like with people who feel some sort of need to defend certain people, just think about it and just like question yourself if you feel if it's all because we're saying we're not even saying, we're telling that there's concrete evidence, and it's 110%. There's no going away from it, and there's no making excuses for it or anything like that. So if you're still trying to defend people, then it speaks volumes about yourself.
And fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what's your intention? We don't know, but based on what's zahir, نحن نحكم على ظاهر, we judge what's apparent. If you don't deal with this issue, and again, I'm not making threats. Honestly, I just want it rectified. I want this rectified.
It's facts.
But I say this, and I say this publicly, that if we don't get an amicable resolution, I will go public with this.
Yeah,
I will go public. I'm not going to make no song and dance about it. I will go public, and I will assure you, the public will want answers.
Yeah.
So if you don't give them to us,
simple. Yeah.
The public will want answers.
Of course, yeah.
And fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because this is what it is. Enjoying the good and forbidding the evil. My next video will go into in much detail regarding the Ponzi scheme that recently happened. My focal point is what the Shara dictates, what Allah and His Messenger, the Deen of Islam, the Deen which is has given us so much. We evaluate our lifestyle based on what Islam requires us to do, not based on the other way around.
Yeah.
We don't conform our lifestyle to, Islam doesn't conform its rules and regulations to our lifestyle. We conform our lifestyle to what Islam requires us to do. Yeah. What's halal, what's haram, what's prohibited, what's mubah and whatnot. And this is important because enjoying the good and forbidding the evil has been lost because, I might lose followers. People might see me as negative. And that's the, common tactic and excuse. And this is why we're in this mess, because we're not being head on and direct. And this is why they get it. Yeah. I want to say getting away with it. They think they're getting away with it.
Yeah.
Rest assured. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He says in the Quran, do not think that Allah is unaware of what the zalimun do.
No.
Okay? Never, ever, ever think that a zalim is going to get away with his oppression or fraud or deception or deceit, no matter what it may be. And if, with Allah's infinite wisdom, that He doesn't choose to expose it in this world, I assure you will feel more in the hereafter. Wallah al-azim. And you don't want it in the hereafter. I promise you that. You would rather get punished in this world. So final thoughts, Brother Imy, and final comments before we wrap this up to the charity, Muslims in Need, and their representative, whoever he may be. What's your final message?
I think my message is overall, to the wider people who are in the charity sector. Like I said, don't fall into this thing where you're defending someone who's doing that sort of up to mischief and whatever else.
And those who donate, what would you say to those who will watch this and think, okay,
as always, I'm
losing my confidence?
Yeah, as always, what I say, look, you can't. Majority of charities are out there just to do good, but don't let a few bad apples put you off from donating.
That's right.
But always follow your money.
Yeah, and demand transparency. Demand it. And if you don't get the transparency, then I'm not saying that they're eating your money or they're not placing it where it's supposed to, but I would definitely think twice before donating to that charity.
Yeah, 100%.
And I even encourage, and this is my last point, that there's an app called Share the Meal. It's a United Nations World Food Program app, and I'll be donating through there because I know I've got data, like Power BI data from the UN that shows us what went in, how much quantity. That is the transparency.
Yeah. Of course,
I'm not saying for charities to have that every single donation. No, but have a general audit trail, right?
And if someone asks, at least you could.
That's you. So you could go back to it. It's not that donation, but you could say, in this month, we've done this much pallets went in. You ain't getting nothing in.
You should want that yourself anyway, shouldn't
I know.
you? As a head of an organisation or whatever, or management or whatever, you should want that. Should, if someone said to you, it's like, look, going back to what we do.
Yeah, I'll put it up.
If we asked the sister.
Yeah, I know.
If we asked her and we said, listen,
the last 3 months,
you need to know about this.
Come back within a week
yourself.
or two.
You've asked me before.
Yeah, I've got it.
Or you've asked her yourself.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got it straight away.
Straight away, she picks up.
I shared it as well. The Just Giving campaigns that we did for Great. I think it was about $7,000, right? And I gave it to you.
Yep.
and you showed me the
There you go.
confirmation straight away.
Easy as that.
So, first episode of Beyond the Surface, complete. It would hone in on issues that we need to scratch beyond the surface. And with Kareem, there'll be other, topics we'll discuss about how we can improve, our situation, the ummah globally, what we can do to support that. Because it's within the mujtama, within the community that we have first, we look at and we try to resolve, enjoying the good and forbid the evil. There will be bad apples, but that's what we have to tackle it straight away.
Yeah.
And then we'll also speak about many, issues within the Muslim world, how we can obviously learn from it and what we can do to also benefit our brothers and sisters in those areas. So take care of yourselves. Imy, thank you for coming. May Allah reward you. Allah barik feek. Always and forever. Cody. So take care of yourselves. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad.